Good morning, kiddos. Good morning. Kids are having breakfast. Uh-oh, he's about to knock over his porridge. Kids are looking. Callum just went off to school. He went off to school. So Linnea and Elliot are eating porridge for breakfast. Oh, gosh, the house is a mess. Laundry. Turn on the light. I woke up this morning. 35 hits different. I'm so tired. I'll probably be honest, I'm probably gonna stay off the vlog today because I really just want to spend the day catching up on some housework. Clean up a little bit, get some, get laundry done as much as possible, pick up toys. I have a lot that I want to unpack about my birthday, just a lot of stuff that I really want to share, my thought process, and stuff that I didn't necessarily want to put in my birthday vlog, but just stuff that I want to share and put out there. So maybe tomorrow, I don't know what Roman's work schedule is this week. I don't know when he's going into the office, and I know today he's in the office, but I think tomorrow he's also going into the office. I don't know, but I just want to, I want to be able to formulate what I want to say about a few things, and then just let it out and just kind of share with you guys, give a mental update, if you will. I'm gonna put you guys here while I sip my coffee. Cheers. Good morning. We are at Adika this morning, huh? We're at Adika. It's quite empty. We're here very early. We have a few things that we need to get, like a midweek grocery trip, just to reload on certain things that we need. Looks like they've got Christmas stuff out. Roman would say, no, you're not allowed to buy any of this. But I bet if I snagged him a bag of Lebkuchen, he would not care. But we go through so much of that, honestly, during the season. Some little cheese pups, they're so good. All right, bud, let's see what else we need on our list. Let's see, what else do we need? Oh, we need to get some salad. Oh, we need to get some apples. Apples and eggs and berries. We can get all that here, okay? So they have all of their Lebkuchen, which is like big time Christmas. And Roman is usually very against buying this stuff before like November. But I also know that he says that, and then like he'll come home from the grocery store with Lebkuchen. So I called him, I was like, do you want Lebkuchen? I know that usually you're against buying it at a certain point, but do you want it? And he was like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, just get some. So should we get, ooh, knocking everything over. Okay, then we'll get him these. Maybe the filled ones. There we go, let's do these. Okay, we'll get him these. Okay, you about ready to go? Hey everybody, I've got a couple of minutes while Elliot is taking a nap. I'm trying to get him used to going to sleep on his own and staying asleep. I have thus far not had much success, but we just try. Every day we just keep trying, and we'll see. So my birthday is September 6th. On September 5th, I woke up in the middle of the night with just serious anxiety, like a wave of frustration and anxiousness and depression just washed right over me. And I felt like I didn't feel sad for getting older. That part, the physical part of aging, to me is not what I'm worried about or what I'm scared about. But I did wake up and have a lot of sadness because I kept thinking, you're 35 now. You're 35, and what have you done with your life? And I started thinking to myself, you know, I was this super adventurous person in my 20s, and I took chances that many people wouldn't take. And somewhere in the last 10 years, I've become more nervous about taking risks. I don't know if it's because I'm a mom. I don't know if it's because suddenly as an adult with, you know, bills to pay and trying to keep a roof over our heads, I don't know. I also think it just really hit me that I'm getting older, and what's the next chapter of my life going to look like? And I started thinking that when I was pregnant with Callum, I knew that I was going to be home with him for a couple of years, and I knew that we wanted a second baby, so I knew that I was going to be home for some time. I didn't expect to be pregnant with Elliot. I didn't expect to be home this long. And when we moved back to Germany, the plan in my brain was to get Linnea, get Callum situated in their respective kitas at the time, then take some time off for myself to figure out what it is that I really want to do with the rest of my life. Like create that new, like, what are the next steps? What's the next chapter of my life? Not post motherhood, but after having young babies, like, what's the next step for me, not for anybody else, for me. So I was gonna take some time off and really plan that, you know, hash out, really plan what the next steps of my life would be. And we had another baby, and you know, we had a pandemic, and I've neglected myself. It's one thing to take care of yourself physically, which I feel like I'm getting better at. But it's another thing to be able to feed your soul and be able to do things that enrich your life and make you feel like you again. And I'm really, really lacking that. I don't have that in my life. I don't have the balance. I do a lot for other people, but I don't do enough to take care of myself in that regard. And on top of that, the stress of not having a home, like a home, I mean, we have a home, but not having a home that fits our family, a long-term home, is something that really sits heavily on my shoulders. That I know Roman feels that pressure as well. We are under immense pressure. It sits and it does very, very, very damaging stuff mentally. I also realized that when I moved here, my whole life shifted. I am not working in the field that I wanted to work in when in the US. When I moved to Germany, I had to completely shift everything in order to make that move happen. So I don't even know what I would go to. It's not like I left a career that I will go back to. I don't know what the next 5 years, what the next decade will look like. And of course nobody does, but I don't even know where to start planning. And it's a burden that sits heavily on my shoulders, that weighs heavily in my brain, that triggers a lot of anxiety and depression and low self-worth, and just it's a hard thing to deal with. And some of that is expat related. Some of that is being a mom, re-entering the workforce at some point. Some of that is just me and kind of recovering from childhood issues. And I feel like I'm at the point in my life at 35 that I'm too young to settle. You know, I'm too young to say that this is it for my life. I'm too young to settle, but it feels like I'm too old to not have a plan. And so that's where I am. So it was a little weird. It was a tough start, but as the day went on and I spent time with Roman and Elliot, and then of course later on with Callum and Linnea, it was very clear to me that I may not have the dream job, or I may not have one part of my life figured out, but I have my family, and my family is what brings me the greatest joy. I am so proud. I'm so proud of our family, of my kids, of my marriage. I'm very proud of the work that Roman and I put into our multilingual, multicultural family that we've dreamed about. This, our family was my biggest dream, and I don't know what's to come, but I would never change where I've been. And if anything, it gives me a lot of motivation to take chances that are scary and risky, and because I just feel like it's gonna be okay, because we're okay. My family's okay. With that said, I do believe in God. I do believe in something greater than man. And I do believe that perhaps these feelings that I've been feeling that are negative are God's way of saying to me, don't get too comfortable. You know, don't get too comfortable. You're not intended. This is not what I'm intending for you. And I just keep telling myself that there's great wisdom and so many lessons to be learned in the waiting. And I don't know my plan, but somebody else does. And maybe I'm not supposed to be here in this space. Maybe we as a family are not intended to stay in Berlin. Or maybe we are. Maybe we are. I don't know. But I definitely have the feeling, and it's a weird, peaceful feeling, that I'm not supposed to get too comfortable, that I'm supposed to do something, that I need to be a bit uncomfortable so that it's a force to change, that it's a force to make me do something, to make me do the scary things, to make me take chances. And if I felt comfortable, I wouldn't do them. So I just wanted to share that. I just wanted to share that because they're weird feelings. There's definitely a sense of anxiety and panic, fear of the unknown, but a real sense in comfort knowing that the uncomfortable feelings have a purpose, and that purpose is going to be the driving force that changes my family forever in the best way.
Wann sterbt man? Nach dem Erzieher. Wie heißt eine Erzieherin?
Good morning, everybody. Elliot and I just left his pulmonologist. Hey, bud. He just had a normal checkup to listen to his lungs, talk about the impact from the RSV that Elliot had, and just kind of creating a new medical plan for Elliot and his asthma in the coming months, because he's been off most of his medication. He's been off most of his medication all summer, which has been great to kind of give his lungs a little bit of a rest to try to fight stuff off on their own. We did give him medicine during his RSV time that he had, those couple of weeks that were pretty touch and go for a bit. But now that we're approaching October, we're just gonna start entering cold and flu season on top of being in this respiratory pandemic, and just wanted to discuss ways to help him non-medically, so more homeopathic remedies to help just support his lungs, as well as a new medical plan with actual medication. So we just discussed that. We'll see his pulmonologist again in December unless he's needed. But in general, we're going with it. This is the new normal for us. We're in there for a while, which was good. It was good to have a long time to talk with his doctor, and his doctor is really wonderful. And, you know, he's just a really, you can tell he just knows so much, and I'm forever forever grateful for what he's been able to do for us in terms of keeping Elliot healthy and safe. And yeah, so then we popped by the bakery to get Elliot a little snack because he was hungry, and now we're gonna head home.